Hey. I am your girl, Misbehaving. And the name of the channel is Misbehaving is Fun, where I talk about real people, real problems, and real drama. And contrary to popular belief, celebrity are real people too. How y'all doing on this beautiful Friday evening? The time is 7:33 p.m. here in California, and it's 10:33 p.m. over on the East Coast. Happy Friday, and the date is May 30th, 2025. Baby, I am sorry for the delay. Honey, I got me something to eat and I got a quick case of the itis. I got a quick case of the itis. Honey, I was trying to fight that sleep, but I was talking with a great listening partner. And so I got my second win, but we ain't gonna be here too long. I'm just shooting the breeze with y'all. But y'all need to stop stealing because the government hates competition. Yes, the government does. Stop stealing because the government hates competition. And I say that because you know, I've had several news articles come across my telephone as well as personal experience where I've come to realize that people that are members of the vulnerable population, they are the ones that are scammed the most. Taxpayers here in America pay millions of dollars each year, and their money funds multiple sources, resources, and some would believe that the money that they're spending, they're subsidizing and supporting these government programs like welfare, Medicaid, and Medicare. Uh, that money does go there. However, the real culprits that are benefiting off American taxpayers' dollars are politicians and corporations. It's like a great big Ponzi scheme. Everybody has their hands out and they're making sure that their pockets are kept full. They couldn't care less about those that need it the most. Corruption is dishonest or fraudulent behavior committed by people in power or those that hold a prominent position within an organization who divert money from its intended purposes for personal gain. Medicaid, Medi-Cal, and Medicare fund multiple billion-dollar Ponzi schemes each year here in the United States of America. So, what I want to tell you is welcome to America, home of the greedy, where wicked people fleece American citizens each year under the guise of helping the needy. Baby, I tell you, I know there are a lot of government workers, especially in the Social Security Administration. And oftentimes, I know there was an article on this website called Cal Matters, WWWCALMATTERS, Cal Matters. And on Cal Matters, they share multiple stories about Medicaid, Medicare, issues affecting people in the community throughout the state of California, and how different services are being discontinued. So a lot of people love them some Gavin Newsom. They love Governor Gavin Newsom. But Gavin Newsom is a common con artist. He has decided that he is going to cut the funding for Medicaid. And here in California, Medicaid funds a lot of programs, Like you have this program called in-home support service so that people, whether they're disabled or senior citizens, they can have someone come to their home and provide services for them, whether they cook, clean, take them to doctor's appointments. And believe it or not, these people make only $19 an hour, if that. Some make $17 an hour. And as most of you are aware, California is a very expensive state. So you have a lot of these sub vendors. That's what I'll call them. And they create these companies where they provide caregivers that will come on out. So you have California will enter a contract with a private company or organization to provide services for those that receive Medi-Cal, Medicaid, or Medicare. And in return, those companies will hire employees and pay them the bare minimum while pocketing the rest of the money and not providing the services to the people that need the help the most, which is why they receive millions of dollars to begin with. I think a lot of times when we see on the media, when they put out these news articles or stories about uh, the government's about to shut down, they're going to end Social Security, they're going to end Medicaid, they're going to end Medicare. That's a bunch of bull hockey. Matter of fact, I'm going to just say it. It's just a bunch of bullshit. They're not going to end anything because a lot of these politicians and the people that make the decisions to fund these government programs, they have friends that they are canoodling with, networking with, so that they can get a kickback from the money that they send their friends' way. I bet it wouldn't surprise any of you to know that the most profitable uh, businesses more recently, I didn't notice it at the time when I was working in it, but I notice it now that there is millions of dollars to be made off people that struggle with drug and alcohol addiction, people that struggle with mental illness, people that are homeless, and people that are disabled, whether that be a physical disability, mental disability, or uh, a diagnosis from birth. There is millions of dollars to be made. And often these populations are vulnerable because people can take advantage of them, and there's no one out there that will advocate for them because the media does such a fine job of saying that they're the leeches of society, leeching off of the system, when in fact they're not even getting even 50% of the money that is allocated to those organizations. The money is going to outside sources. So I just want to leave you with this in mind. People have a choice to make. You can do what's good or you can do what's bad. You might be getting away right now with diverting funds and stealing money and your greed, but eventually it'll catch up to you. Not only will it catch up to you, it'll catch up to the entire organization itself. It's kind of like what's going on with P. Diddy. People have known the things that he has done for years, and there have been men before P. Diddy that have also done the same things and got away with it for years. But eventually, as my grandmother would say, what's done in the dark will come to the light. So you have to decide and make that decision. Having a flawed character or need to have money and profit, is it worth your integrity? that short term gratification that you're getting or receiving, knowing that you're sharing uh, a part of the pie and mismanaging funds. People go out of their way to donate to homeless shelters, to homeless families, donate gifts, time, energy, not only just financial resources, clothes, food. But I wonder how those people would feel to find out that their good deeds of donating to others that are less fortunate than them has been taken advantage of. You know, you are the company that you keep. And even if you are not stealing the money, but you're aware of the money that's being stolen and diverted, you're just as guilty. Did y'all hear about the story about the USDA employee was among six people charged and $66 million in food stamp fraud scheme? Did y'all hear about that? Did y'all hear the story about how in North Carolina they're about to have Medicaid cuts that could leave families without options for nursing home? Again, something that affects senior citizens, a vulnerable population, perhaps people that had worked all their lives and probably worked all their lives living check to check, so they don't have the resources saved up, and that's why they resulted or ended up being in a nursing home. Some of these nursing homes be filthy, trashy, raggedy, don't have enough linen or supplies, but they make sure they do that documentation and do that billing so they can get that money from the government. I tell you, y'all need to stop stealing because the government hates competition. Now, President Donald Trump, he has his Doge out there. And I'm not saying the president is perfect, but who else better to point out theft, schemes, and scams than someone that has done it before? People are entitled to change. You don't have to be a crook all your life. But I guess it's easy to change your mind and start having sympathy for those in need when you notice that you're no longer a spring chicken and you're going to need somebody to provide care for you. But that's it, y'all. I wasn't going to be here long. I just wanted to talk about that. Corruption, dishonest behavior by those in positions of power. Hell, people complaining. I say, shut everything down. Shut the welfare departments down, housing department down, social security down. Shut it all down. Because once you shut it all down, there won't be any money for people to steal. There won't be uh, the ability for employees of the Social Security Administration to commit fraud and call uh, unknowing, innocent American citizens and talking reckless on the telephone with them. Honey, I've been on both sides of the aisle, working for the government and receiving help from the government. And baby, there is a proper procedure and protocol in how things are done. Now, I will leave with this. There ain't nowhere in the world a person can file an appeal on May 30th. and receive a call the same day. Yeah, a lot of corruption going on. But hey, y'all, I'm your girl, Misbehaving, and the name of the channel is Misbehaving is Fun, where I talk about real people, real problems, real drama. If you find yourself being mad at anything that I had to say, baby, chances are the devil is you. Y'all be safe out in these YouTube streets. Y'all try to do right by yourself and by others. And if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. But again, remember, what's done in the dark will come to light. So you better live your life right. Because you living high on the hog today. And the next thing you know, the police will do a raid and you'll be locked up and got your ass over there up in prison. Keep on playing. Keep on playing. You gonna find out sooner rather than later. All right, y'all. Good night.